All right, guys, hello and welcome to this special video. We have professional trader Charlie Burton joining us here today. And we have an interesting video because one market, in my opinion, has been getting ignored, especially in the news. Very few people have been even talking about it, and that's the US dollar. We're going to talk about it with professional currency trader here, Charlie Burton. And we're going to talk about the US dollar today with Charlie Burton and get his views on it. Is a potential top coming for the US dollar, or maybe is this monster just going to keep going up and up and up? By the way, I called for a big, massive rally in the US dollar. I was bullish on the dollar last year in 2021. There's a video I made. I'll put it up there for you guys so you can see it.
So that's why the crowd, almost everybody out there, is expecting a crash in the US dollar, which is completely the opposite of what I'm expecting. In fact, I'm betting against the crowd on this point. I'm betting against the herd. While the herd is bearish on the US dollar, I'm actually bullish for the dollar. As long as the dollar remains above the June lows, the level you see here, I remain bullish on the dollar. And by the way, one important thing, the US dollar just recently broke out of a trend line. It broke above this trend line you see here, and that actually is a very bullish action. So as long as the US dollar remains above that trend line and the support lows of June, I continue to remain bullish on the dollar.
What does Charlie think? All right, guys, join us. All right, guys, welcome back. And by the way, guys, we've actually spent, Charlie and I spent almost an hour talking about the stock markets, Bitcoin in great amount of detail with Elliott wave count. So make sure you do check out the member video. A lot of detail there about the stock markets, Bitcoin. And also we talked about the euro in that particular member video. And if you're not a member, you can join on that link. Charlie, thank you very much indeed for joining us in this session. First of all, how are you?
Me. Yeah, good. It's been quite a tiring time, actually. I don't know about you, Alessio, but I actually get mental fatigue when I'm really busy. And at the moment, it's been so busy in the markets. I trade 6 different accounts because I trade personal accounts plus fund accounts, and then I'm doing sessions with members and in my trading community and stuff throughout the week as well. So sometimes I get to the end of the week and I'm absolutely exhausted. And last week, especially because the markets were so busy, that I do get quite tired actually at the end of it, because I'm spinning a lot of plates and I'm making a lot of decisions, trading decisions, managing quite a lot of money. And so, it's not stressful, but it's just busy, and you're having to, make a lot of decisions and do a lot. So, but I'm not complaining. It's a good time to be in the markets.
By the way, guys, Charlie has a trading room, which I highly suggest you check out. You can actually get free access for 30 days to Charlie's trading strategies and also his trading room. I would highly suggest check out that link. Again, charlieburtontrading.com/LT Gold, which gives you access to his gold level membership. And also apply this promo code. The promo code is actually on the page anyway, so you can get the promo code. Gives you free 30 days access. More about that and what Charlie provides at the end of this video. Okay, Charlie, let's go to the chart of the US dollar. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, what's your view? Let's take a look at the US dollar and what's your viewpoint on it? Sorry, Charlie, could you explain to people why they should be looking at the US dollar and not ignore this one? Because it seems to me people are ignoring this one, but go ahead.
Yeah, the reason that people should be watching the dollar is because the dollar it is king dollar. It's the strongest currency in the world. Right. It's linked to the world's largest economy, whether you like it or not, it still is. And so it is key as a driver to how other currencies are going to be affected. So you might be looking at an individual currency such as the Aussie against the dollar, the Australian dollar against the US dollar. But and that's fine, and you might have a nice pattern there on the Aussie dollar, but you really got to look at what the other markets are doing as well: the Kiwi dollar, the euro, the pound, and the dollar index does give you a bit of an overview, because the dollar index is the dollar against a basket of currencies. So it's always just worthwhile to look at the dollar index as part of your analysis. Now, if you want to have a look at the charts here, I've got a monthly chart up here, and it's very similar to I know that we've been chatting earlier Alessio, and it's very similar to, if I go out to a quarterly chart, in fact, just to start off, it's very similar to yours in that I've got these this trend channel here and some trend lines, and the dollar on my chart has come up into this long-term upper trend channel. Now, the dollar hasn't quite reached it over to these highs of early 2000 as yet. So as you've quite rightly, as you've pointed out, that it could still shoot higher, but even if it did, I would see that as like a potential throw over move, whereby price almost capitulates going upwards and reach an exhaustion into that zone. I think it's possibly it's certainly getting exhausted now, but if it did push higher, then it's not, in relative terms, it's not that much further. About 118 to 20, 117 to 20 would be the level. But it's a nice level that it's come into, the dollar. It's got into the pullback area of this range here, and this nice trend line as well. And then coupled with that, if we come back down to the daily charts, we've got a key reversal bar here, or an outside reversal bar, whatever you want to. Different people call them different things, where we make a new high and then close below the low of the previous day. So we got a key reversal day there, and that was on Wednesday of last week. And so I think that's going to be key, fun enough, to the near-term direction of the dollar, because the dollar has come off a little bit since then, and it's had such a tremendous run over the last 15 months that I would love to see a retracement. Now, whether we do get one, we'll have to see. But I would quite like to see a retracement in the dollar, because for me, if I go back to that quarterly chart, even if we did a bit of a retracement, I'd still then be looking for another, at least some form of test back into this zone again. But for now, I think we've hit some key resistance. We've had a key reversal day, or an outside reversal day, and so the scope is there for a retracement on the dollar, but from a technical perspective.
As a matter of fact, the dollar also hit the golden ratio on a weekly time frame. We hit the golden ratio 1618 extension. So the rally from 2018, a bit further in, sorry. If you measure that rally from 2018, the 2018 low, all the way to the high we made in 2020, then project that from the next low, the major low, that gives us the 1618 extension, golden ratio extension, which we just recently came short of it by literally a few points. I think that was nearly 115, that level, which we almost hit. Did we reach 115? I don't think so. I think we reached just under 115.
Yeah, just under, yeah.
Anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. I mean, I agree with you. I think we're likely to see a retracement. Which levels did you say you're looking for retracement? I'm looking for potentially, actually, you go first. Go ahead.
Well, whenever you get retracements, they retrace in waves, as you call them anyway, in Elliott terms. They don't always just move in a straight one line direction. So first things first, on here, I've got this is a daily chart. I've got this trend line going along these lows. So I'd love in the first instance to see the dollar work its way back to this trend line. Now, we've talked about my pebble on a pond pattern before, and that's had a number of tests of this trend line. So in the first instance, I'd like to see if the dollar is going to get to this trend line. If it does, then I would expect a bounce, but I would expect it to probably then break. So having had as many tests as it's had, and bearing in mind what it's just done off of the bigger time frames as well. So that zone down there would be, let's call it the 110 area, maybe 109 to 110. Yes. If that then breaks, then my next level is this horizontal level here, 106, which if I take us back out to a higher time frame, actually I need to take us to a quarterly chart just so we can squeeze it all in. There we go. Let me just make this a little bit There we go. So that 106 ties up with this this high from back in 1989 here on the dollar futures chart here. So whether we get that much of a retracement, I don't know. That's quite a deep retracement, but you take things one step at a time. So the first step would be to see, can we do a retracement back to that trend line that I've just, if I squeeze this back a bit again, this green trend line that I've got on my chart. Now, so what would that mean? Now, we don't know at the moment. I think there is another factor at play here, and that's the stock markets. If the stock markets carry on selling off, then we could see the dollar turn back around again and go higher again. But if the stock markets stabilize, then we could well see this dollar retrace a bit more. The equivalent move is sitting at 112 as of last week. If it does come down to, let's say, 109, that's a 300 pip move. So that, you know, the potential's therefore there to see something like the euro dollar run up by 300 pips. So I think those are the sorts of things to look out for. But again, we're in very, very interesting times at the moment, and the dollar index is important to look at. That helps us look for levels on the likes of euro dollar and the likes. But I would like to see it come down. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think that one important point you mentioned is the 110 level. I would need to see a sustained break of 110 before we can say a likely top has been made. A 110, 109, I think, has to break before we can say that the top has been made there on the dollar. And then I agree with you. I personally think that if that top gets confirmed by break of those key levels, I would look perhaps 103. Do you think the 100 level is out of the question then? I mean, do you think it's less likely, the 100 psychological 100 level?
Well, if I go back out, I'd need to go back out to the longer term time frame again here. I think the 100 area is a lovely area because it's where we've had a lot of tests over the years. That's why I've got this, again, I've still got a horizontal level on there. It's just that I take things one step at a time. So what I would be doing is saying, right, okay, yes, firstly that trend line. If it then breaks the trend line, then I'll be looking for the 106, which is my red horizontal level here. If it then gets materially below that, then I would then start looking at towards that lower 100s. So that's how I would, when I'm looking at the markets, how I would look at it.
Yeah, very good point. Oh, thanks very much, Charlie. It's really interesting. Guys, make sure you also check out Charlie Burton's website and his trading service. So Charlie Burton has a trading room. We'll tell you more about that, and his gold level membership. Definitely check it out on this link, which you get a free 30-day trial. Many of you already have signed up, but some of you probably haven't done so, or maybe the first time you're hearing about it. Do check it out. That's on this link, charlieburtontrading.com/LTGold, and then you apply the promo code to it as well. And that gives you free 30-day trial. And I think, personally, I really think it's one of the few subscriptions out there that's worth keeping and worth holding on to because of the immense amount of value that Charlie provides. Charlie, I've known you for many years. You're by far one of the best traders I know. And I think that if there's a few people I listen to, you're by far, Charlie, one of the few people whose judgment I trust when it comes to chart analysis in the markets. So definitely check it out, charlieburtontrading.com/LTGold. Sorry, Charlie, you can say?
No, I was just going to say, no, it's very kind of you. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just to add one tiny thing. It really is for people who are serious about trading. So that's the one thing I'd say. It's a community, and it's about people who, it doesn't matter if you're new to trading, but if you feel that you really want to trade for the next 20 years, not that you need to be with my service for 20 years, but my traders, some of my traders have been with me for 15 years plus. They know more than enough about the markets, but they are still there as members because they love being part of that community as well. And I think it's an important thing to say, that it is really important for people, or no matter what the level of ability is, but it is really for people that want to really immerse themselves in their trading and see their trading as not some get rich quick thing. It's about getting rich slowly over time.
Thanks, Charlie. Appreciate it.